Venus is going to station retrograde. We've been looking forward to this. We've been talking about it.
Yeah. And we did do a video about it. It's half edited. By the time this video comes out, hopefully it will be available. And if it is, I will put a link to it in the description right about here. Venus retrograde only happens about once every 18 months and lasts for about 40 days. We've been in the shadow period of it since the 19th of June. The shadow period will extend to the 7th of October. But this is when the actual planet Venus stations. So she'll be retrograde from the 22nd of July to the 3rd of September. She's going to retrograde all the way back to 12 Leo.
And a Venus retrograde is, all about the themes that revolve around a retrograde is readdressing old issues. So this could be with Venus, it could be old romantic partners. It could also be like, I want to redo the living room or, redo something that is beautification project around your house. So these might all be what you are revisiting with Venus in retrograde. And you've got some time because it's from, like Lynda said, July 22nd to September 3rd. That's when it's going to be in retrograde.
And when we talk about relationships, not just romantic relationships, this is relationships in general, our values also, because Venus is about values. And with Venus, the way that Venus does retrograde every 8 years, it comes back to a very similar position, not exactly the same degree. It kind of moves a couple of degrees each time. But yeah, so there may be themes from what was happening about 8 years ago. So if you think back 8 years or 16 or 24, there may be themes that kind of like, oh, that again. Might not be exactly the same, but the same sort of topic might arise. And, maybe this time you're reassessing, well, I've always done it this way. Maybe I should approach it that way. That's what Venus is doing. She's reassessing how she deals with those issues, relationships, harmony, art, beauty, all those sorts of things.
So that's going to take up quite a lot of weeks that Venus is going to be in this sign than we are used to. Usually she goes right through a sign in about a month or so, month or two.
Yeah, about 24 days, I think. Yeah, say a month. Depends how fast she's moving and all that, how close to the sun she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is she going to be? Leo for June, July, August, September. Yeah, almost 4 months. That's a long time. Because
it is.
She doesn't retrograde until she gets almost all the way out. She gets to 28 degrees. There's only 30 degrees to a sign. So she gets almost all the way to 28, and then she kind of goes, oh, I've got to go back to 12 Leo. And then, when she does station direct again, then she's got to catch up to where she was. So, she's a long time. Sometimes, when planets retrograde, they can kind of cross into a different sign, but this is all happening in Leo. So wherever Leo is in your chart, that's where you can expect that these sorts of issues may be looked at, and it may have something to do with where Taurus and Libra are in your chart as well. There may be some tie-in with that.
Very nice. I'm kind of looking forward to it. This is what is interesting to me about this is with as you had said, Venus is going to be and do her entire retrograde movement in one sign. She is the counterpart to the astrological couple Mars, who also did a retrograde period in the same sign. So it's interesting to me.
Yeah.
They're staying in the same signs.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're highlighting, these issues, Gemini and Leo.
Yeah. Gemini
Those two.
where
Is where Mars retrograded. Yeah.
yeah.
That's just interesting because usually the planets, they don't, I mean, they go over boundaries of the signs. So
Well, yeah, it just depends how far they are in or out. Yeah, Venus and Mars, they look like they were going to catch up a little while ago, but Venus has been slowing down because she's going to retrograde. She's been getting slower and slower, whereas Mars is just powering on. So they're not going to make that conjunction that, was building for a
interesting
little while.
setup for sure.